Vinegar Syndrome has just released the obscure 90s cult classic Tammy and the T-Rex on Blu-ray. I did a blind purchase of this movie during Vinegar Syndrome's online Black Friday sale. So, was it worth the money? Well, let's find out. This uncut version of the film sports an alternate title, which is kind of weird. Right away, we are introduced to Tammy, played by Denise Richards, and her boyfriend, Michael, played by the late Paul Walker. These crazy kids are madly in love, but wouldn't you know, she has a psychotic ex-boyfriend who just won't stand for it. We also meet Tammy's best friend, the comic relief sidekick, Byron. So after a fight that involves latching onto each other's, privates... Go! Ooh, good move! Tammy's deranged ex and his gang of psychos kidnap Michael and dump him off in the middle of a wildlife reserve, where he's immediately mauled by a lion. Did I mention the goofy doctor and his assistant yet? Well, first off, he's played by Terry Kaiser, who will always be Bernie Lomax from one of the greatest movies ever made, Weekend at Bernie's. So the doctor has built a giant robotic T-Rex, and he wants to install a human brain into it, because why not? He smooth talks his way into Michael's hospital room, steals his body, and promptly cuts his skull open in an awesome and gory effects sequence. So once Michael's brain is hooked up inside the T-Rex, he gets his revenge on those who wronged him in some delightfully gory ways. Wait, is that a boom mic? And talk about a noticeable reflection of the camera here. Yikes. Anyway, Michael tries contacting Tammy at one point on a payphone, but he can't talk, so it doesn't go so well. When he finally does get to her, we get a powerful scene where he clears things up.
You have Michael's brain?
So the rest of the movie has the star-crossed lovers evading the police and the crazy doctor. Tammy and the T-Rex is an interesting movie, to say the least. It's got some great gore effects from the late John Carl Buechler, a cool robo-dinosaur, and a solid cast of familiar faces. And the story is imaginative, that's for sure. This film has all of the ingredients for a movie that I would love. So why was I kind of lukewarm on it? Well, I think the biggest reason is that it's a full-fledged goofy comedy. Obviously, the premise is cheesy and crazy and really calls for comedy. But here's the thing, I like bad movies that take themselves seriously. When it's a bad movie that is being made as a goofy comedy, it loses some points with me. Not to say I didn't get any enjoyment out of this. It had some good moments, and I did laugh a few times, but I just would have preferred less goofiness and more seriousness. Perhaps my expectations were just too high for a movie about a teenager's brain being put into a giant robo T-Rex. So the picture and sound, as always with Vinegar Syndrome releases, are flawless. Some shots were a bit grainy, but overall it looks great. The cover art is also amazing and very fun. My copy also came with the limited slipcover. Jealous? Special features are plentiful and include interviews with lots of the cast members and the director. Honestly, watching these interviews makes me like the movie more. We've also got a director and producer commentary track, and interestingly enough, the entire PG-13 version of this movie, which was what was originally released on video back in the 90s. Tammy and the T-Rex is a fun little movie. I wasn't blown away by it and was actually a little disappointed, to be honest, but I think it's worth watching, and fans of this movie are gonna love this feature-packed release.